Hey guys, I'm Kermit. Today I'm going to teach you how to mod like me. Now first off, we're going to start off with the downloads. You're going to need Blender, of course. I use 4.3, which is exactly this one right here. You got to get this one if you're going to follow my guide. Alright, once you got that bitch, you need Park 27's Dragon FF. How you download it? I think it was down here somewhere. Oh, here we go. And then once you got that, you also need Photoshop. Your choice. Fucking purchased or cracked, doesn't matter to me. And then you also need magic.txt. And that's pretty much everything you'll need. Alright, now once you got everything, you're gonna open up Blender. And you're gonna click on this button over here, install application template, and then you're gonna pick the Dragon FF file you downloaded and should be good to go. But since I already have it, I don't need to. Now this is the viewport over here. All this shit, you go over here for example and you press delete, or you can just press A and then delete. Choice is yours. This one, you can delete that too, but that one can stay. Anyways, how do we start with a skin? How do you move in here? As you can see, you can't really move. Well, you move your middle mouse button to look around, shift to look around like this, scroll. You can even scroll by holding control. And that's basically everything you're gonna need for now. Alright, now for skins, very simple. Steal one. I'm gonna steal this one right here. Just gonna download that bitch, open it, and we're gonna just, you know, drag them to desktop for now. And let's open them up. Now here's a very important thing. You're gonna have to press import. Don't press open. Import Dragon FF, and then the skins you just got. I think I got these. Hold shift, click both. And now, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure read material split is on. If this shit is off, you're gonna fuck your whole skin up. Anyways, here she is. Well, he. Let's open the other one too, which was, I think, LSV2. Not sure. By golly, they're right here. Now click on one of them, press the move tool, move them over here. And you might be wondering, okay, what do I do now? This shit's all blocky. Well, you go up here, press flat and texture. Done. And click on the skin and press rotate. Hold control and roughly just roughly position them correctly. That seems right. Now what do we do? Let's take, for example, this dude's head and put it on this skin. Alright. Now press tab. Now you're in edit mode. This guy, see these blue lines? You're gonna press A, and then you're gonna click this select mode right here. I'm gonna refer to these as boxes. Right click and press clear sharp. Now what we did is the blockiness of the skin. You can see all these vertices and shit. Yeah, you're gonna see those if you don't do that. And do the same with this one. I like to that doesn't matter. Alright, now we're gonna click this dude. We're gonna click a random vertex on his shit. Then we're gonna go to material and select. And by golly, we just selected his head. What about the neck area? Well, you can hold shift and select that as well. Sometimes it picks up the arms. If it does that, then for example, you can go shift Z, hold control. I'm gonna select these for now. I hold shift to do that. But hold control and you can unselect all of that. Anyways, now you're gonna go to separate by selection and get rid of this and this. You don't need those anymore. Now we do the same shit to this guy. He has two sides, doesn't matter. Seems about right. And now we're gonna separate that too. Alright, now you got no head. What I like to do here is go to object, set origin, surface, so the arrows are over here. We're gonna just roughly move his ass over here. Situated nice and snug, you know, doesn't really, it's not too important. It seems about right. Now here's the next important thing. Click on the head first, then hold shift and click on the torso. And now you press Control J. I'm gonna Control Z now. Notice how this is red and this is orange? We're just merging them together. So now the whole skin is one. What happens if you do it opposite way? So I merged the torso to the head. Notice how this dude got bones now. We don't want that. So select the head first and then the torso. Control J and you're done. Now let's go back to edit mode. As you can see, we have a little issue here. His shit is not connected. Well, for that, we're gonna go to the first box over here. Select mode. And you're just gonna click on these little dots over here. Hold shift and press M and then press that center. You're gonna do that with pretty much every dot here, you know, just so it fucking won't have a hole in his head anymore. Perfect. As you can see here, we have there's a one dot here, but there's no dot over here. So what you do is you select the second select tool, press on the line, and now you hold Control and press R, and then you click it. Go back to the first one, and look at that. We just made a random dot here. And now we can merge it, and boom! We just made a fucking head swap. That's literally how easy it is. Now, another important thing to notice. Since we stole the skin, some modders like to private their shit, so good way of seeing is go to data, and I forgot what I'm doing properly. Check, and these are the bones, which is all of this shit here. Now, why is that important? Well, for example, let's go to weight paint. This is pretty much just tells where something is. As you can see, he doesn't have a jaw, which means, notice how like the default characters, their mouth moves and shit when you bump into them sometimes. Yeah, that's why they have that. But since we're on samp, we don't need that. So you just select head, and it's pretty fine. Let's check the neck out too. If I can find it, that is. For some reason it isn't showing, but it should be fine. But we can always just do this. We're gonna select each vertex with the third box tool. You're gonna select the whole neck, at least what you think is the neck, and then you're gonna go to this weight area. You're gonna put 0.5. Click on the neck and press assign. And now, if you check weight paint, he actually has a neck now. Usually this isn't too important, but I like to do it just in case sometimes. Another key fact to remember, out of all of this shit you're gonna swap, the neck is the only thing that's 0.5. Everything else is gonna be weight 1. And for now, that's it. Alright, tune into the next guide. Fucking, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I'm gonna select this again. Remember how I did the weight painting thing? I forgot a key detail about it. Once you assign the neck, make sure you go back to select the head, make it 1, and assign it. Because else, I forgot what exactly happens, but just trust me on that, I guess. Anyways, now for the torso, it's using texture arms. Now this is why you're gonna need magic TXT. As you can see, that's the skin we use to head swap. doing? And this is the skin itself, the one we're using right now. You can remove the head, which we used, Control S. And the other important thing is you're gonna select the face we're using. So for this one, it's Big Bear. You're gonna go back to the main skin. You're gonna add. You're gonna go to bigbear.png and add that shit. Make sure the name is. Don't rename it, because else it won't understand what are you doing. So even here it says Big Bear. If you name it anything else, it won't understand what texture it needs to swap. So pay good mind to that. Alright, I just fixed up this skin over here, and now I'm going to show you UV mapping. It's pretty simple. As you can see, this is his head and this is his hand. Doesn't really match, don't it? So what you're going to do is you're going to select the hands. You're going to go to material split. Material, my bad. And you're going to go to unpack item and click the third option. Ignore the error, doesn't matter. Now you're going to open image, and you're just going to, for example, the skin I'm using, this is the head, and this is the torso itself. So I'm just going to select that. Find where the torso is at, open image. Boom, and that's it. Then you're going to go to UV editing. Now first for you, it's going to be all gray and shit. So for that, you're going to have to go up here where this area is at, scroll down, and there you can put flat texture back on. Anyways, here we are. Some reason it did not select these parts of his hand. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Anyways, UV editing is pretty self-explanatory. Let's deselect those actually. This right here seems to be a hand area. Notice how it's all moving. I'm just gonna, with transform tool or move tool, doesn't matter. You're just gonna move it. Then you're gonna go to transform, rotate it like that, and adjust it to accordingly. You may be wondering, well, how do I move it? Well, you just select these and just pretty much squish them into the right spots. Just enough that it looks good. Everything that's outside, just move them back in a little bit. Since we're dealing with low quality ass skins, it doesn't really matter at the end how perfect everything is, you know? As long as it looks fine. Okay, let's do the same shit for the palms. I usually do this all with transform tool. Already looks fine. And that's how you UV edit. The same tool, you can add in the different logos and shit too if you want. I'm gonna show you how now. Alright, now to add custom textures onto the skin without Photoshop, which you can do on Photoshop if it has the UV mapping probabilities. So we're gonna select this, for example, go back to UV editing. See, this one properly UV mapped, everything. You can just add this on Photoshop. But some skins don't have that. They will have just, for example, this huge ass blob for the whole, for example, t-shirt. And you know, that's not too good. So what I used to do, I select out the rough part of where I want to add something. For this, I'm just gonna add some random bullshit. Alright, now we're gonna go down at material. You're gonna press this plus button right here. And as you can see, it doesn't have anything. You're gonna select, you're gonna press new. Okay, wait, I did something wrong. Oh, okay, there we go, my bad. You gotta press assign first, then you press new. Then you're gonna go to base color, press the yellow button, and press image texture. Now you're gonna open. I'm just gonna put a random fucking texture like this one. See, it works. And then you're gonna go to roughness, set that to 1, and then go to I think it was specular, and set this to 0. I'm just gonna make sure. Roughness, specular, yeah. All right, that's right, and that's how you add a texture. Now, to finish it off, you're just gonna, export it as Dragon DFF, yada yada, and then in Magic TXT, you're gonna press Add, and select the image you just added, and Control S, and that's it. That's pretty much how you add textures. Yeah. Alright, now custom textures is also pretty simple. Open Photoshop, you're just gonna open the shirt file you need. So for me, it's hoodie. Press Z, and then you can zoom in with this. Go back to this. And let's, for example, let's add this onto the shirt, You're just gonna select the whole thing, make some fine adjustments there. Select it, move it over, drag it down. Since we're dealing with a low quality skin again, doesn't really matter. The UV editing already shows where everything is. So for this one, it's gonna be here. Now you might be wondering, well, what the fuck do I do with this area? We need to make it blend in, What I do is use magic wand, and I press backspace. Then I like to do go back to select. Then we're gonna select it. Then you're gonna go up here at select, and you're gonna grow. Oh wait, no. It was gonna be modify, expand. Expand by 1 pixels. Since we selected it inverse, it's gonna. Okay, something is wrong. Select inverse again. Weird. Whatever. Now with this area, we're gonna have to make it blend in with the shirt. Now what I do is I grab this here, spot healing brush tool. You make it bigger, doesn't really matter. And then you're just gonna pretty much just do that, and there. It makes it look proper. Since in game the shirt quality is so low anyways, all these minor details like these wrinkles or whatever isn't really important. But make sure you have content aware or proximity match. I like content aware. And let's do the same around this area. Done. As you can see, but it's still missing some shit. Now what you can do is just go to levels, for example, and just make the whole thing white. But we don't want to do that. So another way is using hue and saturation, lightness, for example, desaturate it, brightness, make it 150, for example. Now we have a gray shirt. And you can always just use the eraser tool to get rid of these ugly ass lines. I swear to God, I'm doing something wrong though. Hold on. Select inverse. Modify. Ah, there we go. Okay, now it worked. It still looks a bit wonky, but with some eraser, a little bit of fine detailing, can look better. Now with these low quality ass pictures, for example, cause it's gonna look a little wonky, sure, but in game it might look good, might not. It all depends, really. This one, I can tell you right now it's not gonna look nice. But you can always go to opacity, lower it a little bit so it blends in with the shirt a little better. That's a key factor that I use. And yeah, that's it. Pretty much. You can do it with a lot of files. I mean, textures. You can just, I don't know, get a rap album picture, throw it on the shirt, and do the same shit. And you can always just use other textures too. For example, it's using this one, but other modders have made similar models. As you can see, this one looks very similar. This will work too. This will work too. And this one will kind of work. Depends on how it's UV mapped. And that's pretty much it. Alright, now one thing I forgot to mention. Well, actually two. When you're done with a skin, sometimes it's gonna have some extra attributes. So under data, when you open it, you're gonna scroll down to attributes, open it, and you're gonna have to make sure that there's only float 2. So remove whatever else is there, unless it fucks the skin up, because mostly it's a lighting issue, and lighting issues are only made for E and V mods. So whoever made the skin probably had that shit on by accident. But yeah, else it's gonna look like this. Notice how the bandana is all bright and shit, doesn't really match the skin. Yeah, it's gonna look like that even in the dark, and it's gonna look ugly as shit. Now the other important thing I forgot to mention is when you export a skin, make sure you're not on edit mode, rather on object mode. If you're on edit mode, it's also gonna fuck the skin up. Alright, anyways, due to popular demand, I'm gonna show you how to make a shiesty. It's pretty simple, really. You're just gonna grab whatever, it doesn't matter. Drag it on here, make it smaller, I don't know. For this one, I'm gonna make it a little bit more, you know, darker. It doesn't matter. Just paint bucket that shit. Then you can lower the opacity a little bit. Go to eraser. Make it roughly how much you need, and then just do that. Raise the opacity, and boom, you have a shiesty. That's usually how easy it really is. You can keep the opacity just a little bit down. Maybe like, I don't know, 96. In game, you won't see too much else, but it will look a little bit more detailed, you know? So, yeah. Alright, now for shoe swaps. It's relatively exactly the same as head swapping. Same with legs, really. Most of the time, if you're gonna swap out legs, shoes, head, try to use the same torso, because it might fuck around with the bones too much, you know? Like this skin's bones will be different than this skin's bones. Anyways, we're gonna go back to edit mode, grab the third option, just with the face. I'm gonna go to material, select them, separate by selection, get rid of this, go back to this one, do the same shit with issues, separate by selection, delete. Now, I'm gonna do this again, and you're gonna roughly move them here. Looks fine. And now you might be wondering, well, how do I make it look better? For now, it actually kind of fits properly. So you're still gonna merge. Control J, remember? Now you're gonna go to edit mode, select them, Shift Z, hold Control, grab somewhere, hold our LMB, and do that. And now you can manipulate one shoe. Shift Z again, and now you can move it, make it look proper. Now since this is already assigned to the skin, it's already gonna look fine anyways. And yeah, done. Now, What else do I have to show? Let's try out the bones. You can see, oh yeah, the way I'm hiding this is I just press H. Now select the bones, for example. Weird. Oh, okay, never mind. I did it wrong. Okay, you're just gonna press that button then. And now you can, I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong? Oh, it was not in edit mode, my bad. Alright, get at it. Select the bones here, go to edit mode. Now, you can see the bones. Right here, they're located pretty properly. But let's say this bone here is somewhere around here. See these dotted lines? Yeah, it's gonna fuck his leg up, so the whole leg is gonna move over there. Because remember, remember the weight painting we did? You can press Alt H to reveal all hidden things again. Well, since it knows where the left foot is supposed to be, and we move the bone here, for example, it's just gonna over here, and it's gonna look hideous. So that's why bone placement is important. Now, I don't know exactly how to show you, just pretty much make sure that they're inside of the skin, really. Such as this here's the torso, and these shoulder lines, these are the hand lines. And now you can, okay, that's what I did wrong. Okay, this here's the middle part. And you go to edit mode, you can see it's just really a fucking stick figure, really. And you can manipulate these if you want, but I usually don't have the need to, or very rarely do. But yeah, that's it, I guess. Oh yeah, when you're in object mode, export, of course, and open Magic TXT, and make sure to add the texture. This one I'm actually gonna fucking save, so we're gonna name it Untitled for now. The way I like to make it match is, since we used Mario 25, I copy the texture, Control C, place it here. And what is the texture name for these shoes? Vans. Well, hey, I took them from, I forgot which skin I took them. Anyways, I have Vans texture, export it, desktop, and now I get to open this again. I can remove these, and I can add the Vans, and blimey, the skin is done. That's it.